Yeah.
Like,
Alright.
Okay, we're good?
Yep.
Okay. It's
do
your
it.
show, Andrew.
All right. Awesome. Oh, someone's calling me. I'm gonna ignore that. Fuck off.
Turn your fucking phone off, god damn it.
Fucking meetings. All right, that's good.
oh, that's too loud.
Good. All right, cool.
There's your cue. That's all you need. Just match my screaming up. all right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Xbox North podcast, a video version of Xbox North podcast. I'm so happy to see these three beautiful men looking so sharp and snazzy. I'm sweating balls, but I'm doing okay. We are back in video, and we're all live and happy to talk about E3. And if you're looking for us in the audio versions, we are on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Pocket Cast. Just type in Xbox North podcast. My name is Andrew Ravindran, and here I am, and I am joined with my three great members, Joshua James. Joshua, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing quite well, actually. Been enjoying the cool weather in Toronto as we just the heat. So also into Wars Jedi Fallen Order now that they updated for the Series X. So that's been really a lot of fun. So, and exciting news to talk about. So just excited about that as well.
Some nice. We just and also joining with me is my good Twitch buddy Jesse Dean. Jesse, how are you, my friend? I just see you now. You're playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, newly released Game Pass game. How's it going, my brother?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing? I'm good. I'm playing Yakuza. It's fun. I decided to start playing that because I was having a blast, and I was Mass Effect out after playing Mass Effect 1 on Insanity. That was the most remastered version of all three games, and you know what? I got my fill of Mass Effect, and I just felt that the switch of gameplay was a little bit too sudden from going to such a RPG like Mass Effect 1 to which is 100% an action game in Mass Effect. I mean, they might have had a very good story, but it's so stripped down. I mean, one party member has all of 4 talents.
Mm-hmm.
4. That's not RPG to me. That's an action game, and it was just too much of a system shock. So I had to put it down. Over with the clunky, you know what I mean, the early 2000s game. Let's play something that's a little bit more modern, and coming out fresh on Game Pass. And so far, it's really, really fun, and it's very, very story driven, and I like that. It's a JRPG. It's very quirky, and it's Sega. I love Sega games. It was obviously my first console, and there you go. That's it.
Awesome.
It's funny that you say modern, because the ones before Yakuza Like a Dragon, Jesse, were just like an action game where in this one they turned it into a turn-based RPG. So you can say they kind of went back a little bit.
Oh wow, yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I
gotta try them out, but that's 6 games, right? That you got to get through, and just by judging this one, the other ones could be different. By judging this one, those are probably pretty lengthy games.
Yeah,
I think this a while to get through.
This is the one that has an English voice cast. I think the other ones didn't have an English voice cast. I might be wrong, but I think Microsoft came in to help with this as well. And also, I believe it's not the North American release is not even for any other console except Xbox. So,
wow.
Yeah, so cool thing from Microsoft.
Yep.
Lastly, Dan Robertson, who set all this up. Dan, I'm digging the whole new look for our video podcast. Now it's not distracting in the middle. It's looking beautiful. How you doing, my man?
Not too bad. Yeah, I've been putting a little work in this week. A little less video game time, but a little more podcasting time this week. So, yeah, I did a little bit of setup, make it look a little cleaner, nicer, and hopefully we'll do pretty well.
Great job, man. Looks good. Glad we
Thank
got
you.
it working.
Oh yeah, I'm happy because I'm happy to see all three of you, because heck, we did our little live reactions, and we're going to do a little montage clip, and we're going to send it very shortly. But I'm glad to do a video podcast just to just to see your faces for a good long period of time and not looking at some other screen. But all good in the hood. Let's just start with the E3 conference and overall. I'm just going to start with me because every E3 I've always made it a mandate to watch it. But sometimes I feel underwhelmed, sometimes I feel completely overwhelmed, and then I talk about it and I go into great lengths. I believe Microsoft exceeded expectations. They didn't overdeliver, they didn't mislead the audience. I think about the early 360 days, the PS3 days, where we got those nonstop pre-rendered cutscenes. We did get a couple of them, mind you, and a couple of them. But back then we had a lot of false promises. I think about all the way from like Peter Molyneux talking about Fable being the greatest game of all time, never came to be that. Sony's Past 3, they made that Killzone 2 trailer. Yeah, Killzone 2 trailer. I think Microsoft did it right. They didn't announce every single thing they had. They playing the long game, obviously, but they're talking about 2021 and 2022. And for the Xbox Series era, the Xbox era, and for Game Pass, I'm invested. I love the future for it. I'm going to start with each of you to give me a letter grade, but I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to say give it an A. Josh, let me start with you. What do you think about the letter grading for this?
I give it A plus. Yeah, I'd give it an A plus, definitely. It seems like their E3 show now is a Game Pass showcase.
Mm-hmm.
It really shows, hey, they came on stage, they're like, we have 30 games, 27 of them are going to Game Pass. So it really, it's hard to watch a show like that and be like, okay, I'm getting all this for free, and not be like walking away from something like that. There was obviously some stuff they've already announced that wasn't at the show. There wasn't Hellblade, there wasn't Perfect Dark, there wasn't Fable, but I feel like they padded their already announced titles. So they, at the end, they made sure, hey, we already announced Fable, Perfect Dark, all these other games. So they kind of reaffirmed that those things are still going to be shown. And to start with Starfield, to have the middle to be Halo, and to kind of bring back that, redemption Halo deserved, and then to end with something new by a super talented studio like Arcane. It was fantastic.
Awesome. A or A
Just
plus?
Game. Like, wow, like it was really good. So A plus.
Nice. I love it. Going to you, Jesse. Tell me, what's the grade for Microsoft?
So, okay, so I'm gonna give it an A as well. I kept saying, and it's been the most of recent years safe E3, because like you've been stating, we've had a lot of E3s where there have been promise. I mean, I remember E3 where there was so much hype about games, and I just, after the E3, just never heard of them. You know what I mean? That was like so common on the 360 generation too. You know what I mean? There's a lot of concepts that didn't make it, and after going through something like literally a 3-year, a 3-year. I don't want to say lie, but like a 3-year illusion with Cyberpunk showing up at E3, or you know what I mean, and then it not delivering, and realizing that everything that they showed us was actually not actually there. It was fake. There wasn't a game mechanic, and it's very disappointing. So you could tell that game developers, they didn't want to release anything that wasn't able to be seen in engine graphics, right? So there's a lot of there was only, I think, 2 or 3 CGI videos. One of them was The Outer Worlds, which it made it blatantly obvious.
Yep.
And people were talking about Starfield being CGI, but it wasn't. It's in engine. It says it. It's an in engine, right? Yep. So you could expect a cutscene looking like that. right? And so
Yep.
you know what I mean. I've already heard about, you know what I mean. So I felt they kept it very close to the chest, and yeah, I like it. A.
Hey, awesome, fantastic. Dan, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, I think it's definitely an A2. Like, I mean, I've followed some of the E3 shows before, and not every one of them is like there's always a lot of uncertainty and everything. Like this cleared up a whole lot more than it made uncertain about a lot of these titles and everything. Like Jesse was saying,
Roadmap.
like yeah, exactly. There was less tease, less like yeah, unsureness about all these games and everything, and more like solid concrete, like here's in-game footage, here's in-engine footage and everything, here's what's going to be on the Game Pass, here's what's not going to be on the Game Pass, here's what's going to be on Game Pass day one and everything. Like you got a lot
And
of
what's coming
clear
in just a
points.
year.
Yeah,
Right.
And
yeah,
what's like just coming
exactly.
in a year alone, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep, which is perfect. Yeah.
Which I like a lot
Yeah,
more about that. Like, yeah, I don't want an E3 that's just going to leave me with more questions asked
Yeah.
than answered. Yeah.
Right.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that's the sweet spot that all three of us maybe mutually agree. It's just like it wasn't this overpromise of lies, or it wasn't this kind
Yeah.
of thing about, it wasn't a ton of these pre-release trailers. It was just perfect. And to be honest with you, I think it was answering to us, the gamers, because we've criticized Microsoft, but every E3 showing from every of the big publishers, it's a lot of announcements, and we're all happy about it, and we're so excited. We're like kids. But I think about the fact it's just like, okay, what am I playing end of this year? What am I going to play next year? Do I really need to care about 2 years from now, 3 years from now? That's great. Like I'm glad that there's a bunch of studios that's working on stuff, and we can go on and on. And
They're
I'm
quick
glad.
mentions too, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's just start with the first big one, the first big banger, Starfield. Jesse, it's not
Uh,
coming on the fall,
nope.
but it's not, and I'm also wrong too. It's not coming early in the year. It's coming in a specific date at November 11th, 2022, next year. That's a big, that's about. It's not too while off, but it is a specific date. I I mean, let's just talk about that really great, like, blown out trailer, all from the Creation Engine 2. So in-game trailer. It's been told as some sort of Skyrim in space, or the executive has said a Skyrim. It was Han Solo simulator. Not a lot of details have been shown. You saw a little bit of a cool looking mech that was going on this little planet that was all rocky and undiscovered. But Jesse, what's your thoughts on Starfield?
So, about the release date. About the release date. Uh, Sorry about that. I had to. About the
Yeah.
release date. I'm happy. I'm happy that it's not releasing in the fall. Even though I wanted it because I just want to play it, I'm happy because that means that, with Todd Howard's interview after, backing up um, his confidence that it will release then means that it's just they're gonna have that ample time to actually finish this game, get it as complete, pretty much complete as they want, and like they said, they're in a good position to really knock a good game out. You look at certain details like the cockpit, and they're saying that those buttons are, you can actually touch those buttons. They serve a purpose, and that's really really cool because if they're paying that type of detail to those type of game mechanics, we're in for a really good treat. Bringing it more back to a more, at least Bethesda style RPG. We haven't seen, I would consider, a true Bethesda style RPG, in my opinion, since Oblivion, right?
Yep.
They've all kind of been a little more streamlined and user friendly. If you look at Oblivion, it was pretty much v- visually the next gen, as well as the game mechanics were, you know what I mean, much better, but it still had that deep RPG. You can do anything that you want to do, and that's I'm looking forward to Starfield. I really am. But
Yeah.
after doing this review here, and any future that we might in the podcast, it's out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight,
Yep.
out of mind. I
Yep.
have a new focus, and that is Halo. That is coming out this year.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to.
I'm shining bright.
Yeah, I want to move a little bit of this to Starfield to talk about with Josh, just because me and Josh, we had a separate private conversation, and we were just wondering, what about the gunplay for this? What's the evolution for Bethesda? This is 25 years in the making. Are they going to do something that's the similar set of game mechanics, or are they going to be using parts of their, the developers they own, like id and Machine Games, because I want this to be a hardcore RPG, but do you just want an exactly another replica of Fallout in space, or do you want some sort of an evolution element from you? What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, so that's one thing that's always put me off on just their kind of games in general. I always felt their first-person mechanic was never tight. Playing games like Halo and all that, it's hard to compare the two, but when you're playing them both and you're like, one is just so like snappy and just like visceral, and the other one is just like kind of going everywhere. I really hope they use these studios, right? You have id underneath your belt, some of the best first-person shooter companies like Machine Games. Hand them the game and be like, what should we tighten up on this? How should it feel? And what have we gone right? I really hope bullets have an impact. I'm really curious how things sound in the game from like 0G.
Yep.
Like the boom, 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 and just seeing like the shells like float away in space, or just like stuff like that. I really hope they make that shooting mechanic amazing, look amazing, and really feel amazing. Like your bullets are impacting what you're shooting.
Exactly.
Because
I know exactly.
That's what makes Halo feel great, right? That's what makes Destiny feel great. Even though Destiny's the RPG, right?
Yep.
Those bullets feel impactful in that game. So I hope they do something like that. And I hope it's fun primarily. Because I've never been really into it. I liked Oblivion. I think I really liked Oblivion because it was kind of shocking to see at that time. Just like how big that world was, how far the draw distance went. So I hope they kind
unbelievable, right?
Yeah, like, right? And don't you want that feeling again, Jess, though? Like, of
seeing
that?
Like that's what I'm looking forward to, and I hope they're able to deliver that.
Like, I'm picturing a shot of standing on the edge of a crater and seeing like a huge city in the middle of it, and then you just like walk or jump into a buggy and like drive to it. Like, I want that, I feel like they really took a step back after they got purchased from Microsoft and said, hey, this is a next-gen only game. We don't need to release this on Xbox One. We don't need to release this on PS4 or PS5. Let's just make this a next-gen only game. And I feel like they might have, stretched it even a little further than what they were thinking. Like, maybe that beginning of next year was a real date, actually. And maybe they're like, you know what? Let's just make it the holiday game. It's a big enough game to make a holiday game. And let's take an extra year on this thing and like really just squeeze every bit of juice out of this machine that we have right now.
And just
so I'm excited.
Fine tune it, right?
Yeah, right. So I'm excited
because that's what your competition's going to do. They're going to come out with fine-tuned exclusives, and so guess what? This is your chance, right? This is your chance, and they're
Absolutely.
I think it now also buries the whole subject of the exclusive talk, which I think we're
Oh,
constantly still
Out
like
the
if
window.
there's anyone that still
I'm
needs to
trying to
know this
tell, man.
answer, if someone needs to know, I don't know, but if you don't look at it and it says Xbox exclusive, we didn't get a deep voice saying Xbox exclusive, but we got
Xbox
there.
exclusive.
Dude,
There's your voice.
threads on Reddit. There's some threads on Reddit where they're like, it's just a year timed exclusive. I'm just like,
No.
delusion.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe
Delusions,
if Game
man.
Pass comes to PlayStation, you know what I mean? Then it's no longer an Xbox exclusive.
That's what I
I
mean.
think
They
Jim
just
like
Ryan's
it's not like
open
we're
to
not
that quite
getting
yet.
Yeah.
we're not gonna get Spider-Man, but you don't see me like
I was
complaining
just
no.
gonna
about it.
say, I
Like,
think it's gonna be like Xbox's Spider-Man. It's gonna be their exclusive game that like you
Yeah.
can't get it on the PlayStation and everything, and it's gonna be that
Oh,
game that everyone wants to play. Because like
oh, we're gonna have a
I
lot of
still want to
those.
play some Spider-Man. Like I
Yeah.
loves me some Spider-Man,
Yep.
but
Me
I
too.
mean at the same time, like I can't go out and buy a whole massive console for it and everything. Like that's
No.
a lot of money to drop.
Yeah.
But I mean, they put a lot into it, and they showed us a lot, and they left a lot of questions still too. Because like I mean, they
Mhm.
showed a beautiful, desolate planet, and it's desolate. Like that looks like the moon, basically. Like,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot there to make interesting, but there's so many little tidbits and everything in there. There's nice, smooth like like climbing and everything. There's so many environment
Ladder
like
climbing.
things. I know
Yeah.
it seems like such a small thing, but it's just like okay, the guy's actually like spending some time climbing the ladder. You're not just popping on and popping off, and like
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
engine and everything. There is some like mechs and stuff. What's going
Yeah.
I
on,
think that
Jesse?
I think that
Todd Howard said hold your horses on the operating of ladders stuff, right? It might just be within your ship. So, but that's the game still might not have ladders,
Yeah.
which I find
Yeah.
remarkable.
I think
I
the
mean, that
trailer
could
was
be
trying to. I
easily
think the
solved with
trailer.
the jetpack too.
Yeah, that's true, right? I think
Yeah.
the trailer was trying to show
Yeah, because you don't need a
how
ladder
detailed
to.
your
But anyways,
how
How-
detailed your ship can be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like from all the books on the shelves to like the table with like all the readings on the side to the gun and all the little details. I think they're saying like this is your home.
It's your
You
little
know,
mobile home. Yeah.
you're gonna be able to
Yeah.
decorate it all you want. You're
Yeah.
gonna be able to interact with it. This
Some
is
mobile
the table.
home just reminds
Yeah,
me of
you're gonna play.
Spaceballs now, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious if it will have co-op.
Yep.
I'm wondering about the multiplayer elements too, because I feel like it could perfectly be good for co-op.
It's
Yeah, I mean, was it?
100% a single player game as we
Yeah.
know right now. It
Yeah,
could
yeah.
change.
Yeah.
That could
Yeah.
change, but as
Yeah.
I
of
would
we know
want
right now,
Yeah.
like not a Fallout 76, but just like a co-op. I don't think adding something like that is like something where it's just like I don't know. I think that mech they were showing outside. A lot of people think that's a companion that will come with you.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
In the interviews it was saying
Must be your
so that-
Chewbacca. Must be
Yeah.
the Chewbacca character. Well, actually, I wanna talk to Dan about this. I want you to chime in because Dan, me and you, I'm sure everybody else in this podcast loves, science fiction and Star Wars, but this is not going to be like Star Wars. I've never heard of Star Wars.
I'm a Star Trek kind of guy. To be
I'm more of a
honest.
Star Trek kind of guy too, but the thing is that quite a few of them are saying this is less likely more of fantasy. This is more like a hardcore version. Imagine like you're playing Interstellar, right? So it's
Yep.
the tone and the art style is going to be a little bit more different. It's going to be looking at realism instead of just the fantasy of space exploration. All the old school versions. And I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about that?
That's what I mean. Like Skyrim was very much like all the Elder Scrolls games were very much like a fantasy game, but
Mhm.
they were a Bethesda fantasy game. Like there
Yeah.
was a definite feel to it. There was a definite like masterwork of the like how everything works. There was always detail into it. There was all these side missions and everything explaining more and more about that world and fleshing it out. Like the Oblivion games and everything. I mean, I remember a side quest where I was just like being pulled into a like painting. And then it
Yeah, I
changed
remember
the
that.
entire
Amazing.
graphics,
Yeah.
everything. The entire world that you were playing at that point was a painted game. And
Yeah.
it changed everything and it made it into like a
I do
more
remember that.
real feeling quest
And
and
that was a
everything. It was
side quest, right? That's
yeah,
how
exactly.
that's the
just like
detail.
not totally optional. You never had to go into it or anything, but they fully fleshed it out into like a real feeling thing. Changed the monsters so that they were painted versions of the monsters that interacted differently. Like you had to defeat them with like a Varsal sword or something like that, like a
that.
paint
Yeah.
thinner sword,
Yeah.
just to try and like fight them and everything. So that's what I want to see in this one. Is like like the interstellar feel and everything, where it's like they start to tackle real like issues and real like theories and everything that actual scientists have and stuff, and actually incorporate that into the game mechanics and see how
That would
that
be
works.
really cool.
It would
Yeah.
be insane.
Yeah.
I think you're hitting the nail on the head.
Almost reminded me of The Expanse. Did any of you watch The Expanse?
Love that show. Yeah, I have a few friends on that show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's a Toronto show, right?
Yeah.
I have a buddy who went on set and he took some pictures inside their ship, and I was just like, oh, that's so cool. But that show feels very much like our future, right? Very grounded sci-fi, and that's what I kind of got from the Starfield trailer. And I hear there will be alien races in the game, but I feel like they're going more highbrow sci-fi, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So yeah, I think just like Dan was saying, they have such good lore. So when Todd Howard is saying like this game has been 25 years in the making, like we've had this idea forever, like
they've been building it from the ground up. Like they've been thinking out each little detail as if they were living in that world.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what I love about those Bethesda games. It's
That's so places
you guys ever hear about
with history and stuff.
Did you guys ever hear about the where maybe some influence came from the 10th planet, and then that there was a patch in the trailer named the 10th planet? So the 10th planet was a canceled 90s Bethesda game that was too large in scope. They had the idea that it would have bankrupted them, and so they canceled that project, and luckily Morrowind was a success. And so then instead of making it a video game, they actually turned it into a bunch of books that you can buy called The 10th Planet. And so there's a whole lore behind it. And in the actual trailer that we see in the E3 presentation, there's a patch that says 10th Planet. So there's going to be probably some links between that canceled game and then obviously Starfield, because well, it's 25 years in the making. Well, that was the 90s, was it not? Right? And Morrowind came out.
Surprised if those full books were in that game.
Oh yeah, if you could read them. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? You're sitting there and you're just wherever you are. You could be in your buggy or you could be in the cockpit or whatever the heck like that. Just
playing
turn around and
Xcloud,
read a book
on the bus,
right? Stop reading the book. You look up at the stars. Oh man. That's just phenomenal.
I think there's an endless amount to talk about Starfield, and I'm like, but I'm glad that we can finally see something in action, how it looks, and we got a release date. I'm sure we're gonna have some more like trailers. We're gonna have some gameplay trailers. I'm sure some deep looks, but I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm just now at the point where I'm just like, okay, good, let's leave it to it. I don't know what about you guys, but you're kind of like I think we can constantly just look at it and go, I think I'm expecting a great future for that franchise. I'm expecting it to not just be released. I'm expecting a great post-launch, a ton of downloadable content and everything. So
yeah.
Absolutely.
It was a good first look. I like that.
Yeah. Anything else for Starfield? What do you guys think? Because I mean,
I was just happy we have like a date and something to look forward to, like a goal. You know, we have a place to go to, and it's next year, which is
nobody is going to see me for a couple of days. You know, I'm gonna
I'll see you on stream. Don't worry.
I'll see you on stream.
I'll see you on your stream.
I just forgot.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We'll
see so much
no
of
one
me.
will see me anywhere except.
The exact opposite. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah. If
bringing it back home,
don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
What is it? Monday?
Yeah.
Every Monday,
Friday,
11 a.m. Twitch.
Yeah.
Shady
Eastern
Pro
time.
2015.
Eastern time.
Enjoy.
Eastern time,
folks. Yeah. That's our little ad. coming in just right up.
Yeah. See if you
All
can
right.
make him swear.
Yeah. Oh,
There's something there. You get a free sub.
yeah.
There you go.
That's how you do it. Nice. Okay. Moving on. The next second,
That massive. I was just thinking about the Mass Effect boss.
the
That was
next
rough.
reveal that we got, and I think this one actually completely got me by surprise because this was an Xbox ID game that I just was, I'm like, okay, I'll wait till it comes out. I think it's getting a release at 2021. They did delay it, but it's coming out next year. But Stalker 2, which kind of just completely got me by surprise. We saw some glimpses of it, but this is a time where we actually saw some like gameplay footage, gunplay, the character models. This is a game running on Unreal Engine 4. Now kind of going to be an extinct engine soon because Unreal Engine 5 is just around the corner. A lot of studios are moving towards it, but this is a small team. I think they're more of a mid-tier team, but I just, I think about it. I've never played any of the Stalker games. I have no idea what's it about, but I'm guessing it's very Metroid inspired. But wow, what a phenomenal game. Dan, what do you think?
I mean, it looks good. I didn't get to play a ton of Stalker 1. I played a little bit of it, but being that I was playing a lot of games like late at night and everything, it was a little fucking scary. So
Yeah, it looks pretty scary. I mean, you think
Yeah.
about that. Sorry, go
it's
ahead.
jumpy. There's a lot of action in it and everything, but there's like it's tense. It gets your adrenaline pumping through all the action and everything, and then it just starts to throw you for a loop and makes you feel helpless sometimes. And it's a good path to kind of go down, and it was a surprising, like, most horror games make you feel helpless most of the time to really put
Mm.
that fear in you and everything. But I found
Yeah.
Stalker had a nice balance of like a lot of action to make you feel like you're powerful, and then some of taking that away just to like, okay, you're nice and powerful and everything. You're taking care of yourself, but yeah, there's still like a lot of paranormal, scary stuff in there that's
Mhm.
taking you
Oh
by
yeah.
surprise, and it looks good
Almost
in this one.
almost reminded me of Fear when the guy was like teleporting around the room.
Fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the little girl was like teleporting around the room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fear scared the
it
crap
looks
out of
really
me.
good.
Yeah. An Xbox ID game that looks like a AAA game. I mean, Josh, like I keep thinking about the fact that like, oh yeah, we should mention Xbox ID and all that stuff. And I'm just like, this doesn't look like some ordinary budget game. This looks like a AAA level experience that just happens to be made by like a small studio. I mean,
Well, it's funny how you said at the beginning, very Metro inspired. It's actually Stalker inspired Metro. It's just
Yes,
Stalker
that's
is
what I was
so
gonna-
old. Stalker one
yeah.
is so old of a game.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they shouldn't even bother calling it Stalker 2. I feel like they should just call it Stalker. And there's a subtitle to it. It's like Chernobyl.
yeah, something Chernobyl.
Heart of
Yeah,
Chernobyl.
something. Heart of Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like they shouldn't even bothered with the Stalker 2 because I feel like that holds too much weight. But besides that kind of weird nitpick, the game looks phenomenal, right? The action looked good. The lighting looked amazing. When he shot that electricity gun, it was just like,
Oh,
it
and then
just
looking up at the
explodes.
lightning.
Oh, yeah.
And then they show that very famous like radar or radio tower that's in Chernobyl. It was just getting all electrocuted and all the lighting, and like when you watch that again on YouTube but in 4K, it's super impressive. Might be the best looking next gen
Yeah.
game
Wait till we
coming
see it on
out.
our displays. That's what's gonna blow me away, man. My goodness, right?
I hope. And it's funny, this is something ACG says all the time, but there's a bit of a Euro jank to these games. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm very curious if there will be the classic Euro jank. I hope not. It seemed, obviously they took this clip and it was the best clip they could find of it, but I hope it's not as buggy as the first one. The first one kind of has a bit of a reputation for that.
Yeah.
So I hope they can kind of navigate that.
Yeah. I think
from this.
I think the first one had a ton of delays, if I remembered. I think it was originally announced like a 2001 or two, and it got released like 2006. I feel
A
like,
lot of the mods fix the game. So a lot of like the fans, but that's a testament of how good your game was, right? So the
Yeah.
first one was so good that people loved it so much that they even fixed the game for the developers. So
Bethesda.
Yep.
Bethesda right there. Oh, please.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
they said they are going to try and avoid that with Starfield. So fingers crossed. But
Huh.
Yeah.
they are a
Sure.
small team.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are definitely showing their chops.
Oh yeah.
With this very pretty engine. Or
Mhm.
it's Unreal, but
Yeah. It's one of the
they're
first
using it.
They're pushing it.
Yeah, it's one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
first games I've seen that like you really got like drawn to the background and everything too. Like just seeing the birds flying and stuff like that, like looked
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
Like
Detail was yeah.
That lightning gun, whatever that was, that little weird, cool looking lightning gun. I was just, oh, and the
And the
character mod.
soundtrack,
Yeah.
it's yeah, man. It was threatening. It was threatening. Like
Yeah.
seeing the music and the lightning and all that. It's like, you know what? And then the guy transporting, it's threatening. You can tell that it's gonna be you're gonna be on your toes with this game.
And Jesse, you're saying you're going to play it with the subtitles. You're going to do the authentic
I want
all in
I would
Russia.
too.
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm
I
going to
want
do that too. It
because
sounded
the
good.
emotion within the actors and the translation, I would rather feel that.
Yep.
Having to read, I don't mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because visual, yeah. I think I'm gonna do that.
It's like watching an awesome foreign film, right?
Right.
That's the vibes that I got out of it. I was just like,
Unless the English is
yeah,
done very well,
well,
right?
yeah,
If there is going to be, but
Add
then
dub mode.
yeah.
you know,
Microsoft's done it before. If you ever played
because the
Mecha
thing
Cell 2,
is, there is a I don't know if Stalker is going to use it. Like I think Cyberpunk was trying to use it where the mouth moved to the dialogue.
Yep.
So if you did it that way, because if not, then you're animating all the dialogue to another language, and if you try to dub it, it's going to look dubbed. You know what I mean? Because that's the technology of today. Is now you could look at lips and make sure that they're synced to the language, and you can tell when it's not.
that's
There's
so
a
true.
solid face capture and everything in it.
Also, you can tell their individual teeth, right?
Exactly.
Beautiful teeth, beautiful post-apocalyptic teeth.
The best teeth in a video game, man. No doubt.
When are they gonna win that award?
I know. They should definitely do some more specific
Best teeth in a video game.
best graphic.
Dude, dentists are playing this game and they're just like magnifique. Look at this guy.
Thank you, dentist.
Gonna get the
Moving
dentist
on.
mod.
Yeah. Let's talk about Game Pass launches. We got one that I think a prediction was I think we all sort of had this prediction, but Back for Blood, Warner Brothers game, made by Turtle Rock, is going to be an October Game Pass launch. It wasn't Battlefield 2042, like I think some of us were thinking, but I still think this. Well, yes, you are right. You are right. But I mean, I think about the fact that I was such a huge Left 4 Dead fan, and then we had Left 4 Dead 2, and then it just never came to be. Valve just didn't want to make the game, and I think Turtle Rock went, as their own studio. Then they made, I believe there was that Godzilla monster game or whatever it was. I keep forgetting it was, but and then now they're finally back at what I think they should be doing, and this is like the perfect game. It's exactly what I wanted for a while. Every time I play like zombies mode in Call of Duty, I'm like, it's no Left 4 Dead, and a lot of people do not play Left 4 Dead well. But Dan, talk to me about Left. Well, I was gonna say Left 4 Dead, Back for Blood.
Back for Blood. Yeah, I know. It feels like Left 4 Dead. It looks so good, like a brand new, like optimized version of Left 4 Dead that's like dealing with vampires now too. Or
Yep.
no. Yeah, that's the vampire one, right?
No.
No.
That's
No.
Sorry.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
that soon. Yeah.
We will. Yeah. But no, it looks like a good game. Like they have the like new types of zombies and everything. They got it like new set of characters and it looks phenomenal. It looks like a good new like Left 4 Dead game. Like I got super into all the other Left 4 Dead games that they had.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
absolutely.
and it just brought people together. You know, it's a good, solid co-op game. Like you have like strategies, like fighting some of the bigger guys and everything. You need a team to actually take those guys down because you got to focus on a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
it'll
a
be,
game.
like the streakers and like the big guys that explode.
Yeah.
No, good
The
times.
witches. That's something I remembered. We keep talking about how we're going to do a squad game, but that's the perfect game for us, all four of us. If we're just doing a casual stream, that is like the perfect game because think about the old Left 4 Dead days and all that stuff. Let's just keep moving on. I want to talk about more Game Pass releases. Hades is actually coming to Xbox finally. I've never played Hades before, but this game's gotten a ton of acclaim. It came out on Switch. I believe it was also on PC. It's coming on our console. It's going to be 60 frames per second. It's coming pretty soon. I think it's coming in July. Josh,
No,
Jesse? August. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah.
August.
Yeah. Any of you guys going to play that?
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. I like isometric games. Roguelites, I'm not so much into, but I got really into Children of Mana, or I think that's what it's called, Children of Mana. That was really good. So yeah, I really look forward to this. The company who makes it, their games don't really release on Xbox. So that's a big deal. They usually actually come out on PlayStation only. Hades was actually kind of not the norm for them as it released on Switch and PC first. But it won numerous. This is a game that has held its own against games like The Last of Us 2 in Game of the Year consideration. It has beaten The Last of Us 2 in Game of the Year. I think it beat it in the DICE Awards, did it?
Yep, I think it was DICE. I think it was DICE or maybe BAFTA, or I don't know. I feel like it was one of those more prestigious versions of
prestigious. Yeah. But so this game, and it was funny because it was also in early access on Steam for a long time, from what I know. So it really just popped off in popularity once it finally launched on Switch. But it's a very refined game. So I hear it's amazing. Yeah, I can't wait for it.
Absolutely. And I think the most interesting thing about that is like the game director was a GameSpot reviewer that I used to read his articles all the time.
Greg, right?
Yeah, Greg Kasama, who reviewed. So I remember the old GameSpot days because we're all old here. We're all old boys right here. And I think about his Halo 2 review, and I'm like, oh, that dude's now making one of the Game of the Years, and it's so
That's amazing. What a good story.
A guy who loves games started making games, and now he makes incredibly
amazing
games.
Renowned games.
Renowned games.
Absolutely.
Game of the Year quality. So I can't even imagine what they'll be doing after this. But this is another game that is also coming on PlayStation 5 and PS4. It's another game that's launching day one on Game Pass, and it's just another just hard pill to swallow when you're just like, I could literally get it for $1 here, or I have to pay full price on PlayStation. And that is starting to become more and more apparent. And I feel like this game is
and I was just playing it on my phone, right? We got that set up. It's so easy. You don't even need the console if you truly
I can play this game,
especially a mobile game. Especially a game like that.
Yeah,
be good on mobile.
Yeah, but you know what, Josh? If I was a Sony fan, I knew how to defend myself. Yeah, you Xbox fans, you don't own games. It's not truly yours. You know? That's what they will always say. You guys will always say don't own them.
I'll still buy it at a discount though.
Yeah, but didn't you love going to Blockbuster when you were a kid, and you got there when the game first released, and you're like, oh, no one got here to rent it first.
Right.
Game Pass, same thing, man.
Exactly. Gaming is an experience. All right, it's
and you do get the discount of that game if you want to pick it up, it's usually about 30% off the original price. That's big time. Come on, if that's not incentive.
20, yeah. I've seen even higher, I think.
Yeah.
And they also give you a discount off DLC too. Sweet.
Yep. Support your indie.
Especially-
I don't know about that. I think DLC's full price. I have no idea though.
And
Yeah.
if the game's about to leave the service, they've even seen the numbers of the sales spikes for the game when it's starting to leave the service. So you love the game, it's about to leave, just buy it. Easy peasy.
Right.
Right?
Just it. By then you've decided you can put the money away for it and everything for those people
Exactly.
that are a little less
Yeah.
Save
financially
enough
able and
Right.
everything. I
Save
know.
up for it, right?
Mhm.
You're
Yeah,
still getting
exactly.
the
Yeah.
discount, right? You're still getting the discount as well. It's still not going to
Yeah.
be full price, right? And you play
Man,
you've already
play
Yeah.
the game
I've
enough, like Josh is saying, gain those Microsoft points, and like
I
you
got
can just get it
30,000.
for free. Yeah.
Cash it in.
Yeah.
Cash it in.
I'm about to
Wow.
buy a Xbox T-shirt, some merch for the first time, which is
Wow.
because I've been playing since it came out. I've never owned a Xbox T-shirt, so I'm gonna buy one of their T-shirts, and that's all from Microsoft points. I have like 30,000 points, so that's like $30
Yeah, wow.
free
Gonna
shirt.
get me some new Xbox jammies. I wore straight through those old things.
Yeah, right through the crotch. I heard, you know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's move on to something really quickly. We saw some casual games that you know what? I mean, you always think about these press conferences, and sometimes you think about only the games that you want, but you also have to think about other games for everybody else and family games. And there's two games that I watched. I was like, you know what? If my nieces are over, well, I'm doing a podcast with three dads, but I think about these like casual family friendly games, and I'm like, what do they have? And there's Slime Rancher 2 and Party Animals.
Party
Dan,
animals.
you're like, I remember on the reaction, you're like, oh, it's the Slime Rancher, and I'm like, I've never heard of this, and I'm just
Yep.
like, what is this?
I picked that one up just to check it out. I believe with my oldest daughter, and she was just loving it because it's a super colorful game. Like it's kind of a mix between like farming and kind of actiony game because you're mixing the slimes together. You're creating different things. If you're not taking care of them properly, they start to turn a little bit, and like especially at nighttime and everything too. So only kind of dipped our toes in it, but like it was an interesting little game, and like it was back when my daughter was a lot younger, when she wasn't as interested in the games. It was like 5 or 10 minutes here or there, and then it was like, get me out of there. Like she didn't want to play anymore or whatever. Like the co-pilot's gone a long way too with that sort of stuff. So I'm excited now because she's a little older. She's been getting a little more into Minecraft and everything. I think she's gonna really enjoy stuff like Slime Rancher too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think also Party Animals actually look pretty good. I don't think Xbox has that many party games. Well, actually, maybe we do have some in Game Pass, but I don't think we advertise as much. But Party Animals actually kind of look like a lot of fun. A fun little casual co-op experience for us.
Yeah,
I'll give them
exactly. Looks a lot like Human Fall Flat. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it from Human Fall Flat developer? I don't know who the
I
developers are.
believe so. I mean, from the gameplay that I could see, I haven't looked into it just yet, but from the
Yeah.
gameplay that I saw, I mean, like it looks like the same mechanics at least. Like you're controlling the
Right.
two arms, you can grab stuff. It's a little awkward, but it looks silly as hell, and the kids are just loving it. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's do another move on to, well, I mean, actually I want to talk this and I'm going to ask Jesse this, but we just saw Flight Simulator finally get a release date. Jesse, before the podcast we were talking about, could I play 30 frames per second games? Could I play this game? Is 30 frames per second, but it looks stunning. It looks phenomenal. It's coming out in July. If you don't own an Xbox Series X, if you own an Xbox One, you can cloud play, which I think is such an amazing benefit that Microsoft has to do. I don't ever want to fly in real life or learn how to fly in real life. I think I'm too petrified. I think I'm definitely gonna never actually take that lesson. But I look at that and I go, all right, that's amazing. I want to do it. I'm never gonna buy the $350 Microsoft issued controller, but Microsoft Flight Simulator, what an experience! It looks so gorgeous as a trailer. Jesse, what do you think?
Mouse and keyboard integration, right?
Yeah.
That's essential to having that full experience, and I hope they do that with Microsoft Flight Simulator, because it is a game that I've wanted to play for quite a while. Never had the PC to play it, and the fact that it's now coming to the console, and it looks phenomenal. It's gonna be fun just flying around in a Cessna, just taking in the views. It could be one of those games that you're just gonna sit back, throw on a podcast, and play in the background and just enjoy the sight, and I'm all for that, right? Especially if you can't always just commit your time to like some hardcore gameplay sometimes.
Yeah.
Excited about that game. Cannot
I
wait.
think it's
What's
gonna
the
be
what's
one
the
of those
release date
nice.
on it?
Soon. It's very soon. It's
July.
like the 27th
July.
of July
Yeah.
or something.
Oh, that's I
Yeah.
cannot
July's
wait. Cannot
July's gonna be a good month for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Dan.
I think it's going to bring a lot more like streaming to like the niche market that those simulators bring and everything. It's going to bring a lot more availability to the people that want to be a part of that and everything.
Yep.
It's not going to
Yeah.
be as complicated as like a full PC setup and getting all the peripherals and everything that you're used to and making some big complex custom setup. Like you're going to get your Xbox, you'll get your Xbox flying controller and everything, and you'll get your stream going right away, and then you can just hop on and play, and it'll
Yeah.
make it a lot more available to those people. It'll broaden that niche market that's been like eating up a lot of viewers and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it's growing and it's bigger and bigger. There's more and more people that are amazingly interested in watching just a truck drive across Canada or a plane fly over the world. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's true.
I'm
And
interested in doing it. It's just so cool, right? Those simulators always.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
but the
Josh-
game's special in another way as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of the first games to use the Xbox Series X in the cloud as
Yeah.
its architecture, which is a
Yep.
big deal.
Yep.
So that means their server, like, it's funny because Jess was just playing it and he's just like, why is this so slow? Because we're spoiled, Jess. We've been running on the Series X this whole time. So that it marks almost like a date for the Series X going into the server blades.
Yeah.
Also, they announced that xCloud is coming to Xbox One, and you're going to be able to play this game on Xbox One. So that means my Xbox One S that's upstairs in my bedroom is going to turn into a Series X.
Oh
and
wow!
This is going to be one of the first games to offer that experience. Talk about no man left behind, right?
Yeah.
And this game is
What a
the
win.
start of that.
Yeah.
It allows you, because then it's about just like saving for the game, right? If you're doing this, then you're saving up for your console when they when they eventually become available, right? It's just so much more incentive to stay in the system doing that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's just truly amazing.
I have a buddy who only buys the consoles really at the end of its life cycle, almost like the last 2 years. And I was like trying to be like, hey, buy the Series S, it's not much. He's like, I just got my One S, like why? And now that this is coming to the One S, I'm like, bro, you're fine.
You're fine.
Good.
Yeah. You're good.
Yeah. To add
Wait
to
until 2000 and what would be 27?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Flight Simulator, besides it being obviously gorgeous, running on Forza tech, but it's kind of the start of that as well.
Can I add one thing that and Josh?
No, how dare you?
Please.
Oh my God, this guy! Can you
Series
believe
X
him?
game that is going to be $60. I mean,
Yes, that's a big deal. It's an exclusive Series X game that is not $70. Sony. It is a full next gen game, and it's $60.
Yeah,
that's a statement in my opinion, right? Like I'm pretty sure Forza Horizon 5 is $60. That's not a full next gen game, actually, though. That is a cross gen game, but still, the cross gen version is not $70.
It's talk about the consumer friendly aspect of Microsoft right now. They're not here to rip your customers off. Right? It's I know it's only $10, but the fact that it's not even has a previous gen version, that's just incredible. What an incredible experience for that. Let's do a quick little rapid fire of some indie games. We're going to leave one of it as a last discussion because it got its reveal. Actually, two of it that's got its last reveal. But let's do some if we're gonna play it, if we're not gonna play it. But we had a ton of indie game showcases. There was Among Us. I'm sure, we'll all give it a flyer. It was a big thing a while ago, but I don't know if I'm gonna give it.
No.
Oh, no, it's. I don't know if I'm
Nope.
gonna. Yeah.
Never played it. No
Nice.
interest.
Nice.
No
gotta-
interest.
I have to get into it because all the kids at my daughter's school have been talking
Yeah.
about it, and now she wants to try it, and now
Explain
Yeah.
it to us,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
right?
Come back and
I
just be like,
don't-
I witnessed this new world. It was
Yeah.
called Among Us.
my only experience with that game so far is in like the VR chat version that I
Yeah.
played on my VR, and it was
Wow.
a very weird version because you were not the regular characters, and there was a lot more silliness going on.
Ah.
Yeah. That game had its 1 month of fame, so we'll give it that. I'm sure I'll take a flyer to it if anybody else wants to join me, but I don't know if it's going to be one that's sticking us for too long. But let's move on to the next one. Another game that's coming very soon. 12 Minutes. Annapurna Interactive's an awesome. Yeah, same here. Thumbs up for me. I guess we're doing a thumbs
Yeah.
up. That
Yeah.
just boy, like the performances. You got Willem Dafoe as a villain. It's 12 minutes on a loop.
Daisy
So-
Ridley.
Yeah, that cast they've got, yeah.
Yeah,
Just an amazing cast,
Jack
like an
Boy.
amazing premise and everything. Like I've seen people try and do that sort of like not Guineas, that sort of idea before, where you're taking snippets of time and building upon it to actually influence the gameplay and everything. But I think they did this. It looks like they're going to do this really well, and it looks like the star cast is going to be a lot of what pulls you into it and everything.
Absolutely. Next up,
Willem Dafoe. You can't go
Willem
wrong with
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Genius actor.
Yeah. And if you're watching some of the video, Shredders, Phil Spencer even actually singled that one out. I love this because I miss SSX. It was such a really good original Xbox game that I loved. I think SSX Tricky was like the last one that I ever played on, and then it just, we never had anything after that. What do you guys think? Thumbs up? No? Yes? It's
Yeah,
free to
it's
Thumbs
not a
up.
simulation, but
Big time.
could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
be a nice party game. And
I'll at least
everything.
try it, right? It's on
Same
Game
here.
Pass. So.
Yeah. Give it a shot.
I miss playing snowboard games, and I used to a long time ago, and yeah, ready for this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, say Atomic Hearts because I'm looking at that right now.
That's what I was about to say. It's got like this BioShock feel to it, and it's also very similar to like Stalker 2. It's made by like a European developer, and it's by a smaller developer. What do you guys think? I'm going to give it a big thumbs up. That looks phenomenal. Like everything I'm seeing right now.
I didn't hear the game you're talking about.
Atomic Heart.
That's what we're showing. Yeah,
what we're showing right here. Yeah.
Atomic Heart. Okay.
Yeah. It apparently has just some fantastic like mechanics and elements in it that like haven't really either existed before or have been very much approved upon in this game. From what I've read, I've only read a little bit like a long time ago too.
Yep.
But like it's like an interesting mechanic feel game, and like using a lot of that like physics engines and like some of the possibilities in it look pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very BioShock. Yeah, I'm into it.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Yeah, it's a big thumbs up.
I thought the trailer was totally weird tone, though, to be honest.
Yeah, totally.
Visually, though, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Just, I agree.
Yeah. These are smaller indie developers, right? They're making their own stuff and they're sending it to Microsoft, and it's it's Microsoft's helping with the publishing. That's how I think Xbox ID works. Next up, if you're watching this, Replaced. It's like the Cyberpunk, really cool 2D fighting game. I'm so in. I like
me too.
Like you had me at Cyberpunk.
Double thumbs.
Yeah, no, it looks
double
gorgeous.
thumbs and it has that kind of vibe and I'm excited for
I love the camera work they do. Like just watching the trailer, it kind of like shakes a little bit every time you like lands a punch on someone. It does cool zoom ins.
2D that feels awesome. 3D. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Looks great.
Great colors.
A little bit of Castlevania.
It's got a bit of like
that
phenomenal.
red, very like reddish 80s, 90s hue, like very, you know what I mean? Stranger Things.
Yeah, the
And-
neon light.
Yeah. Microsoft just knows how to get these types of developers, completely just, they just know how to like just find the right little partnership and all that stuff. Next up, we'll kind of go on to a different indie game, but The Ascent, we've already kind of talked about it, but we've got a release date. Completely. I don't want to talk too much about it.
Don't even have to talk about it. It's done.
Yeah. X Machine Games
When
developers.
we talk about it will be our review on it.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say. The next thing, that's it. And then Ayuden Chronicles. I don't know if I'm even saying that word right.
Yeah.
Ayuden Chronicles.
I thought this looked really cool.
Yeah. Jesse?
Anybody ever play, I'm probably butchering the name, Suikoden? It's a very... Suikoden. 1 and 2. Amazing PlayStation games that I played a lot of. Army building, classic. Has that kind of
nice.
vibe.
You played a lot of Suikoden?
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
great.
Yeah, and you're building your fortress and everything like that. I'm a big fan, and I'm gonna play this game for sure.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Oh yeah, it's the same team. That's like there are some like hardcore JRPG nerds that saw
I think
that
I still have it.
and was just like, what? So
I think I still have it actually.
Oh,
yeah, on my PlayStation. Yeah.
Did you see the camera work they do when they do the turn-based fighting? Like it will go up behind the archer who's up there, and they'll do these cool zoom-in shots, and it looks really cool. I think, and I think another thing, we're talking a lot about xCloud and stuff, but I think games like that are designed for your phone. Like that game screams, getting one of those a Backbone or Razer Kishi controllers on your phone and playing it like a Vita game or something like that, or like a Nintendo Switch.
Exactly.
Like that game, I feel like sells, especially to the Japanese market.
Yep.
You tell someone in Japan, hey, you can play this game from Suikoden, the guys who make it and on your phone, and it's just all you have to do is subscribe to Game Pass for it. That's going to be a big deal, I think.
Yep. I did you hear about, completely unrelated, but Japan, the Series S is going on fire right now. The sales of Series S is just completely on fire.
Like they like their gadgets.
They like the Series S a lot in Japan right now. So
this appeals.
Because what I've seen too is like they're developing a lot of technology too for different types of displays that are still not as like high definition, but like they're coming out with like translucent screens and everything, like see-through screens that'll be more for like commercial stuff and everything, but they're still like they've made like a kick-proof TV and stuff. Like I probably watch a little too much Linus Tech tips and everything, but they do have a lot of like just to make it more like cost effective and everything too. Like they don't necessarily the beautiful picture is always a nice thing to have, but like there's a lot of displays there that they'll still be picking up on and having more interesting like ways to play and stuff like that, like projectors, everything like that. Like that's where a lot of the technology is developed, right?
Yep.
And just watching the trailer for that game, it looks great.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Let's talk about our last little indie game showcase. This is the one that I think as soon as I watched it, I was just, I'm just like, hey, is this the sequel to Limbo? Is this Inside? No, it's Somerville. It's made by Jumpship, the former developers of Limbo and Inside. I'm all in. It looks phenomenal. It looks it's a game made for as a family. Yes, thumbs up for me. Just another indie game that just completely took me by surprise, and love the beautiful art style, great tone. I'm sure you dads are gonna love playing this because it's like a family game. It's not a real family game, no.
He's like, I bet you dads are gonna cry while playing this game.
Cry your face off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a
Go to
wild
sleep
guess.
sad,
Yeah. Maybe
but
the
enjoy
dad
the
dies.
gameplay.
Just
Yeah.
kidding. No, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
The indie showcase that Microsoft had, and they always reveal it. I think this is one of their more stronger ones. They're just mere curation to specific ones that are coming this year and next year. I don't know what the release date for Somerville is. I don't think it's this year, but might be next year. I don't know, but looks phenomenal. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, it looks great. Very well. It's one of the guys who did Limbo and Inside, so definitely wears in. I find more so Inside's art style on its
yeah,
sleeve.
yeah,
I like the kind of behind the shoulder. There's a scene where he was going through the farm, it looked like, and
yep,
there's like these explosions happening around him, and looks like it's about an alien invasion. So the story seems really
Hmm.
cool, sci-fi. And yeah, there's the little boy in it. Very much my son's age, it looks like. So
yeah,
it's gonna be, yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Terrifying.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the
I'll wait
one
your reviews.
You just
with
wake up and you know
the
that
big
he's
gun and the
serious
guy
kid, right?
teleporting around.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. To the building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Um, moving on to something that I'm probably the only one that's going to talk about it because none of you guys want to talk about it, but it's Age of Empires 4. I'm just kidding.
Skip it.
I'm hoping
Skip it.
there's a Series X version comes down, but it looks phenomenal. Relic Entertainment making a pretty graphically stunning game.
When did the original release, Age of Empires?
The first one, I think like
Yeah.
96 or 97 or something like
And
that.
it was
and we still
cool.
don't have an Age of Empires game on a console. And this console is very capable of doing that. Why not?
I don't know.
Why not?
That's all what we can talk about. It's just that
The buttons.
like
There's not enough buttons on a controller.
Yeah, but
Got mouse and keyboard
you
now,
can,
so they're gonna.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say you can play mouse and keyboard on Call of Duty. You can do it on
Yeah.
Assassin's
Age of
Creed
Empires.
Valhalla,
Just
a
force
bunch of
them to
other
do
titles.
it. Just be like, you can't
Elite
play
Dangerous.
without it.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And what's the matter with that? And yeah, there's nothing that would be a selective this only plays on mouse and keyboard. You could put something like that in there, and those are going to be what they are. If you can't play them if you don't have a mouse and keyboard, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's move on to a big topic. I don't think you guys ever heard of this game. It's
Never.
like yeah. None of you have heard of it. It's coming out this year. It's called Halo Infinite.
Nah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sleep. I hear.
We finally saw
No idea.
a multiplayer reveal, and I already had a feeling that the multiplayer was probably way more ready, but we didn't really get a campaign footage. We had a little bit of a clip that just showed kind of some of the environments, but
In the beginning, yeah.
yeah, but we did see this amazing cinematic. And Master Chief just looks a lot more prettier now. I mean, I think about the original reveal where Master Chief just looked very green and kind of like, it just looked a little lazy. But at this time,
But
yeah, the rust. You just watched that amazing touching trailer. The way he was just passing each soldier, like he really cared, and then how he was getting the gun,
like
and
the hesitation to go for the gun off of the UNSC soldier.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like hesitates just a little bit, but like needs the gun. So
Yeah, I will just immediately say when he's talking with I feel like it's a different version of Cortana where he's just saying good. It just got my heart because I just really want a great Halo campaign. I know
Yeah.
the multiplayer is going to be great. Halo's multiplayer has always been great on my eyes. Even Halo 5 had a phenomenal multiplayer. But I just think about the campaigns just been kind of, they've just been kind of slipping. Halo 5's campaign, I don't even want to talk about this, but I just want a really great Halo campaign. Every one of you, I need to hear a lot about, the trailer, everything, what you thought about, just because, Halo is the reason why we're here. Halo is the reason why I'm like, I wanted to do an Xbox podcast. Halo's, why I've got into games. If there wasn't a really great Halo game, when I owned an Xbox, I don't think I've ever really played that much Xbox after that. It was Halo's obviously a big, important part of all of our gaming life. Josh, Talk to me. Tell me. Be therapeutic.
Well, definitely loved the story mode trailer they did put out. Jess,
Yep.
I think you got to reset. And Jess, you still there? I think you got to reset your camera. By the way,
I'm there.
I see a nice still shot of you. It looks really good, but
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
But no, I really like the story mode trailer they put out. I thought like the character model on Master Chief is like night and day compared to the one they showed last year on the original reveal. His armor looks way more torn up, and just way more detailed. So they upped the detail on his armor. The lighting looks great. Thought they added a nice emotional tone to the trailer itself. So like you could see he was like being very respectful, moving the soldiers out of the way when he's grabbing the gun. And they were talking about the fact that the game is going to do kind of what God of War did with the one shot for the game. So if you notice right when he's about to get out of the debris field, he it goes right into gameplay. And it's a smooth transition. So it's going to have this really cool one shot to it. But I definitely think they got the tone of the story mode trailer right. And, then going right into multiplayer right after that. You can't get much better than that, right? It's Halo. Yeah. So I really can't wait to. There's some things that I'm afraid that are gone, though. Like, I really enjoyed Halo 5's multiplayer. I have a lot of time in Halo 5's multiplayer. I've played all the Halos, but I really enjoyed Halo 5 and what they added. So it looks like Smart Link is back, so their Iron Sight. It's not as like intense as it was in Halo 5.
Yep.
But I don't think thrusters are back, and I'm having I don't know how I personally feel about that. I love thrusters.
It?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was a big time fan. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Big time fan.
And the slam? You guys also like the slam down? The freaking
the ground pound? Oh yeah, I love the ground pound.
Yeah, man.
One thing, and I can't imagine they removed it, is mantling. I didn't see any mantling in the trailer, but if they took mantling out of the game, that would be a real big issue. So
samurai armor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the samurai armor. But they added some they kept some classic things like throwing the plasma grenade at the weapon and it flies to you.
Flying to you. Yeah.
Yeah. So stuff like that. So I feel like they're bringing back the feel of Halo, the look of Halo, and I just want to see a little more of it at this point. I want to see gameplay, specifically campaign in motion. But I think they're getting
on my console.
Give us
while
half.
I control it.
Give us half of a level demo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Half of a level. I want to
give
see
us Forge.
But I'm in the same. The reason why I have an Xbox to this day is because of Halo, and I played a lot of multiplayer Halo. But the number one reason why I play Halo for me is the campaign, and that is the most important. They need to tell an epic story. We need to get back into telling epic Halo stories and stay consistent with your universe. I know you need to try different things out. I understand you need new and fresh ways of delivering content, but you can do those new and fresh things, but not at the expense of the epic stories that we're used to with the Halo.
Yeah.
Question for you, Jess. Did you ever play Halo Wars 2?
Yeah.
So the enemy of this game is the enemy from Halo Wars 2. Yeah. I looked forward to seeing that.
Isn't he? No, sorry. Isn't he the like a general for Atriox or something like that? That's what I was hearing. Like
it's like it was one of Atriox's generals. I think you're right. Yeah,
something like that. But it's I mean I'm happy that it's back to the Covenant. Not some random Gate Guardian that you face 3 times over. I'm also very happy that Joseph Staten is back because, in the Bungie days, they just understood Halo. And I feel like 343 was, they hired a lot of people that also didn't like Halo. And I think maybe they were trying to, innovate Halo for the sake of innovation. It could be one of those reasons. But I'm happy, like a former Bungie person is now taking the lead for Halo and, just making it, really good for the campaign because it's the
Big
campaign that
time.
I think a lot of people are concerned about. I think it's,
Yeah.
Halo 5 had the biggest issue. And now I think about it and I think this whole year, this extra year, I'm noticing the difference. I'm noticing the difference on some of those, like some of the lighting, some of the stuff. Would love a half of a level. We didn't get that, but I think about
Or a release date.
Yeah, that's the even more peculiar part about
yeah,
it is like
yeah,
you have a roadmap right now. All of your games, all of them had a release date
mhm,
except for Halo.
yeah,
Holiday. I think you know what I think they're trying to shoot for a September
yeah,
date.
Yeah,
Uh, in my opinion, and they'll be like, well, here it is. It's a little early, and if it has to come out in December, it's not like they promised it. So
exactly,
you know,
exactly.
a lot can come together in the last month, just like we learned with Halo 2. I think the last like
6 months or
6 months
9 months.
of that,
Yeah,
and of that game just like totally just came together. The
yeah,
demo they even showed wasn't even in the game, so like,
yeah, yeah. That was an awesome Halo 2 demo, though. I still think about it.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Jesse, what do you want out of this? What do you want out of this game? You know what I mean? You're gonna play the campaign most. You're gonna
oh
play.
yeah,
I
yeah. That's
mean,
it. That what we
yeah,
were talking about, the campaign.
yeah,
That's what I'm looking forward. And being able to jump into a Halo multiplayer uh, day and date, I'm excited for. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
I started Halo 5 multiplayer late, even though I loved it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just very very late to
Multiplayer.
it,
It's very good multiplayer.
and oh yeah, and so looking forward to starting out with everybody and earning, you know.
Yeah. I believe this game.
Speaking of
Yeah.
speaking of coming in late, sorry to
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Andrew. But speaking coming in late, but if you came in late, there's no issue with coming in late. There's no FOMO in this game, right,
No,
Andrew? Like,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
because the
perfect
people,
season
because
for.
that's what
pass.
people are a lot of worried about. They're
Yeah.
they're worried that it's going to be a pay to win, but they've stated it's not a pay to win game. Halo's
Yeah.
never been a pay to win game. Never
Well, and
been.
also that the season passes, you can go to past season pass. So if you came in 6 months into this game,
Oh,
don't worry, you can go to season
Yeah.
pass one
Yeah.
and start going through the progression of that and
Yeah.
not lose anything. Like, um,
that's pretty
that'd
good.
be so benefit for especially for Dan when he comes into the game super like halfway through the season like he does. So
Yeah.
Got
Oh,
so much
that's.
other stuff going on. I'm just like, yep.
uh,
Oh,
Show up
man.
late. I've been playing Wolfenstein for a while now some
Yeah.
Destiny or something, and yeah.
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 Would Dan? I have a question. Cross progression. What do you think of that? Like, because you also play the PC. It's. I think that's just
Yeah,
amazing that they're making a lot more, usable for everywhere. Like they really wanted to capitalize on all fronts. I just,
that's just it. Like I'm a tech guy, so I end up like testing stuff out half the time. It's just like playing around with stuff that like I don't usually play with. Like I remember even all the way back to like the original Morrowind and everything was just like it was a flip back between like playing on the Xbox, which I originally experienced it on, and like jumping on the PC to play with those level builders and everything like that. Like playing with Forge even like on
Mm.
Halo when
yeah,
they came out
yeah,
with that. Like it was cool to test
yeah,
that out on a console and see how the level building compares to
Hmm.
a thing on the PC. And like, yeah, with cross progression and everything, you'll be able to do that a lot easier. You'll be able to jump on your PC and actually have like the Halo experience on there fully, like you haven't really had so much before. Like it was always like, oh, you can get the Master Chief Collection, like slowly but surely, kind of trickle onto the PC. But it was never like a full jump on for Microsoft really before, and now it's going to be something like that.
yeah,
I think Halo Halo Infinite or Halo 6 is also going to really show people that you're going to be playing on your PC, you're going to go to your friend's place, and all your progression is going to be there. You're going to jump on your cell phone and play, and your progression just comes with you. They're going to see this, like, this, very corporate speak, but the synergy between these platforms, the cloud, the console, the PC. And if you're a player that, very much like Dan, who does float between all three of those things, the experience is going to be a little surreal, I think, for some people, having that access. Can you believe on like some like you have to upload your save to a cloud on PlayStation stuff, where stuff like for us just works? It just
you don't do anything.
You don't do anything. You go on PC. There's your save file. It just syncs from the cloud. Like, I think people don't realize the benefit of not having to think about that, and it just happening.
Sleeping on it, but it's gonna reach more markets, and it's gonna be a good generation. Sorry.
No, you're exactly right.
The other thing that I even think about, all the things that Halo Infinite's doing right, even as simple as just getting bots. I think about the fact that this game is a 20-year-old franchise. It's been here since a long time. A lot of people weren't born when the original Halo came out, and when we were all playing split screen and LAN. And what if you're just starting out and you just want to do some training rounds, because Halo is a different FPS shooter. It is not like Call of Duty. It is not like Battlefield or any of these things. It's its own body, and I just think about the fact that Microsoft is doing everything right. They're playing all parts of the cards right.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that's what got me into first-person shooters, was staying up until 2 a.m, just like trying to master those Halo moves and everything, and getting those headshots in and cleaning up nice, and trying to play through Legendary and everything. My mom coming down yelling at me to turn that damn thing off.
Like playing Halo 3 with my buddies back in the day when I lived with my mom, and the noise we would make. Oh my God, the sound that would come out of the room, just like, and just the profanity. Oh my God, the mouth I had, right?
I think about like my brother and I getting into like fist fights for like playing Legendary and co-op, and who dies first. Just be like, you idiot! You're supposed to go to
fist fights.
We got into fist fights. Well, we were, come on. It was a different time. It was such an engaging game.
I grew up with my mom and my sister, so
yeah. We still love each other. We still play Halo from
not
time
wrestling
to time.
with them, that's for sure.
There's no fist fights this time. Maybe one day we'll do a podcast dedicated to Halo. We'll just do one episode, and we can just talk about the previous Halo, and then we'll talk maybe something alluding to it, maybe down the road. But
did you notice though with the story, it seems like they totally jump to a point where Cortana's not the bad guy anymore, like the way Halo 5 ends. Really, they were really in the shit pretty much. She came to Earth, all the EMP went down, and then in this trailer they're like, Cortana's dead, and it seems like
this is new Cortana.
But it seems like something happened. Like, how did they get to the point where she was the biggest threat in the universe to, she's dead? That's what I'm very curious about. So,
and how apart is this new Cortana of the old Cortana? Like, how much are they going to tie into each other?
At least they put some clothes on her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm glad it's getting a reboot. It feels like it's not going to be Halo 6. It is it's a continuation of the story, but they're doing just a rejig of everything, because all the criticism came in Halo 5. There was some minor criticism in Halo 4, but now I think they realize that Halo, if this is part of me feels like this is going to be one of the last Halo games for a while. I don't think you're going to get Halo Infinite 2 immediately. I don't know about you.
No, they have.
What do you think, Jesse? Sorry.
I could be wrong, but I heard that they have some form of a 10-year plan of their own for Halo Infinite.
Do you think it's more like episodic content, because I'm in the boat where I don't think you're gonna get a Halo Infinite 2 immediately. I think you're gonna get like 7 years or something, or 6 years,
Yeah.
and it's like post-launch and a lot of something else or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
I think we might get another Halo as a transitioning game, like how this one is to the next gen console. 'Cause I think if this does well, I think 343 will want to do a realized next gen Halo that's not a
Mhm.
cross gen game.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
yeah.
they had a 10-year plan for this, but I don't hear them talking about that
Much,
anymore.
right? Yeah.
I feel like this will have more of a traditional lifespan to it.
Yep.
And you know what? They're probably right by it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know, it might be me, but I'm seeing like a Destiny 2 kind of thing where like maybe they might do some expansions. That's what I'm in the boat where I think there's a bunch of expansions coming out. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Or do like when I think Taken King came out, they were just like, yeah, we're not supporting the 360 on the Taken King.
Yeah.
And stuff, and kind of just leave it behind from that point. But who knows?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
the
where
next
I
Halo
think
could. And
that's
Phil Spencer's a huge Destiny player, so the next Halo could be a Destiny, right?
Yeah.
maybe
Absolutely.
that's where they start fading it out. Is some of their updates start doing things, implementing that next gen, where it's just not possible
Yep.
to play on a old console, and so you know what I mean. You could see Halo doing that.
Yep. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's move on. We're gonna move on a little quickly. We got like a cool little sequel trailer announcements. A few of them actually. Let's do 3 game teaser announcements that I and we'll do it kind of like a bit rapid fire like, but and they're all Xbox announcements. Plague's Tale Requiem. Have any of you played Plague's Tale?
Yeah, I beat
No.
Plague's Tale 1.
Yeah, did you like it? And how was it? And, like, it's got all these good reviews. It's from Asobo, the developers of Microsoft Flight Simulator. It looks really cool. It's like a
Well,
good team.
one, it is super pretty.
Yep.
Even the first game, for being an Xbox One game, it is very, very pretty.
Yep.
And they're just a great team. I think they really showed what they were capable of in the first game. You really have to use your environment in the first game. It's very much a stealth game where you use like this rope with a rock that you knock people out with. And it's a very clever game. There was a very endearing story of you protecting your brother. But there was this conflict between them of, she didn't want to protect her brother. She wanted to protect her brother, but she just didn't really want to deal with him, and the harshness of losing their family and essentially losing their way of life, and seeing a different perspective of even the citizens that used to live under them. And getting a better of an appreciation for that. So the story is deep. It is a great, great story. And the second one just looks amazing. Like, did you see that shot at the end of the foliage and everything? It just looks incredible. And the rats coming down the alleyway, you could control
In-game
the
footage.
rats.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. And it's great.
Yeah. I think
Gosh.
that's
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I was just wondering what kind of gameplay is it? Like,
So it's like a third-person stealth game.
okay, a lot of
And your
combat,
brother
or
helps you. Yeah, there's definitely combat in it.
you like the medium kind of, or
No, there's actual legit combat where you
okay?
actually have to aim, and like
Okay.
there's this one fight you actually have to like throw rocks at this guy who has armor on him and knock parts of his armor off to
Okay.
actually
Wow.
hurt him.
Yeah.
And there's like things like using the environment, like knocking lights out and the rats devouring people.
Oh.
Stuff like that. So a lot of interesting mechanics like that. The game is really cool, and
To try it out.
Yeah, no, it's on Game Pass, and the fact that it's coming on Game Pass day
Yes.
one. No, obviously the studio has a great
Yep.
relationship with Microsoft. I can see them being honestly a first party studio.
Yep. I thought they
At
were
some
going to be
time.
the acquisition announcements, but I mean, obviously, we never got an acquisition announcement. But I thought if so, it was going to be it.
What would you like to
Yeah.
see from the second one, improving on the first one?
Well, it looks like the rat mechanic just getting more flushed out. I'm curious how, and just taking the whole like companionship with your brother to another level. But
Yeah.
it is called Requiem, so someone's gonna die.
Yeah, sounds very tragic. This next one.
It's
Yeah.
it's a dark, it's a
Yeah.
dark, it's a dark game.
I
for
just
sure.
downloaded that game, so I'm gonna like give it a go today because I keep hearing about it. The reviews are really good for it. I think it's on Metacritic. It's like almost near the nines. So, and it's a double A game. It was apparently like they did it for a low budget. So, um, moving on to another teaser announcement. This is an Xbox Games Studios third party publishing for Avalanche Studios, Contraband. We saw a teaser, not a lot of info, but we
No.
know what Avalanche Studios does. If you play Just Cause and Mad Max, well, I think one of you made like a prediction that we were hearing, and we finally got kind of sort of a little bit of a reveal. Not a lot of info, but Contraband. What do you guys think?
I need more
Yeah.
information. That's
Yeah.
just simply it. I mean the little
It's like a co-op.
over that, like
Yeah.
for me to make any form of opinion on it, I need more information about that game. Yeah, it could be a heist game and all that, but that I need more. It is open world co-op, which is really cool for what I mean, if we want to get in and play it. So I'm excited about that, but still probably need more information.
Yep.
I'm excited to give it a try. That's the first I've seen of it and everything, but
Yep.
it's looking good.
Yeah. And then moving on. Sorry, go ahead, Josh. You were saying?
I hear they're gonna use a lot of vehicle stuff in the game.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Which makes sense considering they used a lot of vehicle combat in Mad Max. They used a lot of vehicle combat in Rage 2. So if they can kind of carve out a little niche where they are this over-the-top action game, well, it's just called Contraband, right? I don't know if you're moving stuff across the country and you're getting in these insane convoy chase scenes where they're trying to shoot out your tires or whatever it's going to be. But I hear they're going to lean heavily into the car aspect of the game, which could be interesting.
Yeah,
be pretty cool. Contraband. Yeah, like the title. Hopefully we get more reveal. And not a lot of reveal, but I loved their version of teasing something. This was Outer Worlds 2.
Oh,
That's humorously put from Obsidian because I guess you know what, they've always knew how to handle this, and they were the
Here's
best.
a whole lot of not this game.
And, and they
That
haven't even
wah
started. I love the first Outer Worlds. Yeah, I love the first Outer
lens
Worlds.
flares.
Yeah, I mean, not much again to talk about. This is a topic where we go and I'm just gonna keep saying not much again to talk about, but it's Outer Worlds 2, Obsidian, their Fallout in space kind of vibes. I'm kind of curious of how this one's going to differ from, their other games that they're going to do, just because, I enjoyed the first Outer Worlds a lot. But it was exactly like Fallout. It almost felt like a carbon copy. But I think the great thing about it was, their Obsidian's writing is just phenomenal. Their comedy is just always great. So, and the developers who actually made that, the two directors actually directed the original Fallout. So, same talented team. It's gonna make it. So that one looks pretty cool. Lastly, let's talk about Redfall. This is Arcane Studios. Once again, we didn't get we got a teaser. Everything that we were shown is not in the gameplay, so we don't know too much about it. But it's a co-op
CGI trailers.
co-op open world game from Arcane. I love the Dishonored games. They've got Deathloop coming on the way. It's set in a quiet town of Red Falls, Massachusetts, where a siege of legion of vampires blocked out the sun and cut off the entire world from the outside world. Really, fun little action game. It's an open world FPS and exclusive to Xbox Series X and S PC summer 2022. What do you guys think?
And like I was saying before, like a little bit of feel like Left 4 Dead, but with vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that vibe too. Yeah.
But maybe it has like their Arcane flavor to it. Maybe there's a little bit of stealth action.
There's definitely going to be a lot more of a twist to it or whatever, but it looks good. It looks like a nice like co-op game and everything, and it'll be an interesting twist with the vampires and the mechanics for that and everything. It's like
I like the design of the vampires. I think they look really, really cool. Very, they have big hands. It's very, I like it.
Nosferatu almost.
Yes, Nosferatu.
Like old black and white movie.
Very. Yep. 1922.
What I look forward to, considering it's an open world game, is Arcane's really good at their open worlds being very, this sounds silly, but open. Like even their small like hub worlds, you can go like anywhere almost. You can go into vents, you could go over doors, you can hide under desks, you could just like go anywhere. So I'm curious if they're gonna have like is every build, like considering it looks like it's in a small town, is every building open? Can you go into every room? Can like stuff like that, how they hunt you through this open world game? Are they actively hunting you? Are you actively hunting them? Is there an invasion mechanic, kind of like in Dark Souls, where another player will invade in as like a vampire? There's just a lot of mystery to the game, and to be honest, it doesn't seem that far away. It comes out next summer, so that's a year from now. Day one on Game, and next year is going to be a big year for Arcane too, because Deathloop, the time exclusivity ends in September, so we're going to get Redfall, and then soon after that we're going to get Deathloop.
Does that end up in Game Pass?
Oh, I mean, it has to be.
As soon as that PlayStation exclusivity is done,
the first day. The first day.
Yeah,
no doubt. No doubt. I'm honestly, considering they are probably publishing it on PC, I'm shocked that they haven't just like straight up just been like, oh yeah, it's on PC Game Pass. Day one.
I'm gonna wait a couple of months, right? They're probably going to come out with some even more features, make it better, so they spruce it up, so when it ends up on the Xbox, it's the best version you're playing of that game. DLC.
We're going to get our exclusive stuff. So next year's a big year for Arcane, in my opinion.
Sorry, I'm throwing a little bit of shade there, but hey, man, you got to, right? You got to. Competition's good. Competition's good.
You know that team's going to do some DLCs. And they're going to come day one with the... And they'll probably add a little extra spice, as you say, to it. So,
they do expansions as well. Dishonored just, Death of the Outsider just came on Game Pass as well. So they've done it. Yeah.
There'll be like no expansions for PS5.
No gamers. No gamers.
Show you love. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Enjoy your last PlayStation 5 Bethesda game,
Yeah. Did they get Ghostwire Tokyo?
My closing words.
Okay, I guess Ghostwire Tokyo. Yeah, enjoy your last Bethesda game.
Yeah, 2 games, and then that's it. That's it.
That will be it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk. Well, I want to talk the big one, Forza Horizon 5. I
think that was the game of the show.
Same here. Cross-gen game, and set in Mexico. We know that Mexico. There's a lot of it's pretty huge in Mexico. I don't know how to talk about this, but this is a cross-gen game that looks phenomenal, and it doesn't look like it's being hindered by being also an Xbox One. Obviously, we haven't looked at the Xbox One footage yet, but it's coming sooner than Motorsport. And you're just looking at all the features with the tech, that studio, that tech, that engine is, one phenomenal thing. I mean, on a side note, if this is how this game's going to look like, I cannot imagine to see how Fable's going to look like, especially with the open world. And we'll talk about Fable in another episode and all that stuff. But I'm looking at that game and just I did a lot in Forza Horizon 4. I forgot that there was just so many things to do in Forza Horizon 4. And they keep making those games every 2 years. They've had an extra year to make this, so there must be a lot of content going on to this. I mean,
another. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I apologize, guys. Go ahead. totally lost my train of thought.
Another banger. That's what you were about to say.
Exactly.
I'm glad they took away the seasons, though. Like it was a cool concept, and I look forward to something like that implementing into. I find it would probably implement better into games like Fable. But just
maybe it's more like
talking
regions, right? Like instead of its seasons, it's the regions, because there's like mountain, snowy regions, tropical regions.
I hope they invoke kind of Forza Horizon 3. I really liked Australia. Like there was a desert area, there was a city area, there was a coastal city, there was this beautiful coastal like area as well. So it felt like a very diverse, like all these different biomes. So I hope stuff like that, and take the weather effects to another level. It looked like we're getting sandstorms into the game, but when they're just going over that tech, like there's some shots in those tech where I'm like, okay, this is their location, and then it just starts following the car, and you're just like, oh, that's the game. That's awesome.
As soon as they showed that red car, I thought it was a real car, and then I was like, oh, okay, no, this is game.
Oh yeah, and if you notice, the first car they follow is like an SUV, and it's kind of like them saying, hey, one, we told you this game has ray tracing, but look at the back window of this SUV. And you can just see the whole scene behind him, just like in the back window itself. I think they specifically picked that car because of how reflective it looked there. But man,
even the free roaming aspect, I was loving it.
A special team.
Yeah, what a great team. I think that's the one where I'm immediately starting to love Horizon over more than Motorsport, and then I just realized it's always been for me. It's like Horizon has been the racing game that it's just more preferred, because it's not a racing game; it's just a driving game. I just love the driving of it. And the fact that they're going to have their own map making mode, right? Just I think about how Dirt 5, that was a lot of fun, but I was just like, oh, I'd love this more in a Forza game instead, because I like Dirt 5, but I just want this, and then immediately they've got the mode.
They're gonna have some nice arcadey feels to it with the map building,
and that's a great.
They did that with Lego to some extent.
Yeah,
sorry. They did that with some of the expansions of Horizon 4 too, with the Lego. They did some kind of arcade stuff.
Yeah, I didn't like. So I really don't like when. So it seems like their first expansion is like a real, like not a real world setting, but more just like almost extension of the existing map. And then the next expansion after that, they always seem to go silly with like Hot Wheels wasn't too bad, but Lego I wasn't into. I'm like, that's not what we want for the expansion. Just do exactly what you did with like the first expansion, like when they did the first expansion and they added what was it, Forza Horizon 3, when they added the snow area, the mountain. Yeah. And it was like, it was the mountain you saw in the distance the whole time you were playing the game. And you're like, oh, it'd be cool if the expansion was that mountain, and it ended up being that mountain.
Oh, wow.
But then after that, it went into Hot Wheels, and I was like, that's not what we want. We want like just more realist. We want more just like settings and stuff. We don't need this silliness of, Hot Wheels is cool, and it seemed to be proven enough of a concept that they're actually making a real Hot Wheels racing game now.
Yeah.
But I was not into Lego.
What do you guys think of it? I hope
they don't do that.
What do you guys think of it?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, please.
All right, okay. So I feel like they are very good at experimenting with the like tools they have available to them and expanding upon that and everything. Like the whole technology that they're using now and everything to grip the wheels to the road better and just like have the engine run a little differently, and like they go super realistic and then they can go super silly with it, and kind of have like they're flexing their like their breadth of like capabilities that they can
Mhm.
harness and deal with and everything, and push that all into one like driving experience game.
Well, yeah, they you can tweak in just like the difficulty settings, like
The driver's
to
car.
pretty much, yeah. Well, you can turn the game essentially into a sim game if you want it to be.
What
You were saying, Jess?
What do you guys think of it being now a true multiplayer game where you can actually pull up to? I could drive right up to you, and you can accept my race, and we can go do a race together right there and then.
Well,
Nice.
I think it was always kind of like that, but it seems
Kind of like they
it
were
seems like
invisible before, like
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like they're solidifying them more into the
in the
world
world. Yeah,
itself. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which
like you're gonna
I
be
like
able, you're
that.
gonna crash into them where before there was no crashing into, the
The other
actual
players.
players. Yeah, they're because they're
Yeah,
invisible
Yeah.
yeah. We'll
Show up in
see.
you guys' races
around the
and push
open
you off the
world.
road.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you're just gonna drive up behind me and harass me? So that's great.
Yeah.
That's great to know, Jess.
Sure, do you do that on a stream, please?
Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be
Beep,
great.
beep, beep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who's constantly beeping at me? I just get a text message from you.
It's right behind you. Right behind you.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I keep going back. I know we shouldn't talk about Fable, but it just excites me for their Fable game, just because if that's what they're doing and that's how Microsoft
It
Flight
should
Simulator
excite you.
looks,
Yeah, it
it's
should,
just
man.
it's going to be an awesome game, and what a talented team. And I like the fact that they took the extra year because I think they really took the graphics to a new level. So it's gonna be awesome, and I think that was part of like that might have been my favorite part of the whole E3 was just showing Forza Horizon 5. Even though I already had expectations that will be good, it just did that one up for me. So just
And we
phenomenal.
got a date.
And we have a date,
Yep.
an exact date, not holiday, November 9th. So I'm sure
November 9th.
November is always a busy month for games for all the time. So let's just talk about small little things a little bit outside of E3. We saw the Elden Ring trailer. Have you all seen the Elden Ring trailer? Because that is one phenomenal trailer. That looks like. But the problem is, I'm just hoping it's not that hard because every time I play those games, I'm always having the most biggest difficulty with Elden Ring. But you got release date for January, not a fall game, but Elden Ring. What do you guys think?
January 2022. Yeah, all for it.
Yeah.
I think I will. If I'll try it. Those games seem to be more of a admire from afar.
Not
Same
Game
here.
Pass. Is it Game Pass?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
I don't
I'll
think.
check.
Yeah.
I'll check your stream, Jess. Don't worry.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
Me too.
that affects my level of entry right there, depending on what the price is. If I could
Yeah.
get that game, maybe you know what I mean. Especially what just released a couple of months before potentially, right? So
Mhm. Also, Square Enix also had a pretty decent E3 trailer. The Guardians of the Galaxy game looks pretty good. I think the only thing that made me happy was that it's a single player game this time and it's not a live service game this time. So I just,
Yes.
I just wanted to see a little bit more. It looked a little too much like Outriders. I don't know if it was just me, but
Maybe it's
fine.
just like their version of. It's probably running on Unreal, and sometimes Unreal can look amazing, and sometimes Unreal can just look like the same game.
Exactly,
In my
same
opinion,
clone.
yeah.
And then moving on to Ubisoft, their press conference wasn't that great, but I think Avatar
Awful.
looked
it was,
Oh my god.
okay. Avatar looked okay.
I
I don't
thought their
know.
character models look weird. It
Yeah,
reminded me
yeah,
of like the Corridor crew when they did Avatar in the corridor. Like, look it up.
yeah.
They did Avatar in Corridor crew, and it was on purpose to look all
Yeah.
janky as hell.
Skull and
But
Bones get canceled.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Who
I
knows,
don't
man?
know. I have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that team's supposed to make an open world Star Wars game, so
So
it's
it's a
Ubisoft
good
Massive.
team. It's what it's the Division team. So
Yeah, massive Ubisoft Massive. And then well, we don't need to talk about the Gearbox one because that's awful. That was that was a really bad. Yeah, that was just
we will
completely.
remember.
Yeah. Oh, one big thing we forgot to talk about, going back to our Microsoft one, they ended it with the Xbox mini fridge.
The biggest thing.
The most
Oh,
important
yeah.
thing ever.
Gotta get
The most-
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hottest
yeah,
Gotta
pickup,
keep your drinks cool, man.
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. If anybody is watching this that's like an Xbox or Microsoft executive, apparently there's somebody that's paid to watch every like podcast and all this stuff. If there happens to be that you stumble onto this, just let you know that there's 4 of us here,
Yep.
and we all could
4,
use a
yep.
fridge. Yeah. And 3, well, we all have families. We're all living with families.
I'll show it
Yeah.
off every stream
Yeah.
where I'm getting my drinks from.
Yeah,
I wonder if it
exactly.
makes the Xbox noise when you turn it on.
Right? Every time you
Oh,
open
that'd be
it.
so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I just
Yeah.
turn it. My son would
Yeah.
grit and just constantly open and close it, and I'd just be like, "Yeah, now
What-
I regret it."
But you can press
Whatever.
the button for the Xbox noise, and when you open it, you just get that Halo.
And
Yeah.
it glows green right in your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. I'm just hoping whatever Halo tie-in of like an energy drink, I'll just fill it all the way up from that, including the chips. We'll just
It'll
see.
be the Rock energy drink,
Yeah.
the Zoe with Halo.
Oh, yeah.
Or Mountain Dew or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Anyway, whichever executive's watching this, just let you know. We can message our addresses. We'll
4,
tell you
4,
4 of
yeah,
us.
yeah.
4 of us. If you can get 4, that'd be great. But we'll completely be happy.
Send
Okay.
them all to my house.
Yeah.
I'll distribute them. It's fine.
Yeah. I just kind of want to finalize this, with this episode, and I just want to talk about Satya Nadella. He just got promoted again. I don't know if you guys know, he's now chairman of the board for Microsoft. What an important piece, because I think he came at 2013, and he was overseeing everything. And you think about Xbox, and I think he was actually talking with Phil Spencer in about like 2014 or 2015 after the Xbox launch, and he was asking like, why are we in this business? What are we doing, and all that stuff. And you think about Phil Spencer just turning the ship for us and making Xbox a core part of Microsoft business, how they're moving forward. You think about from streaming sticks to smart TVs in your web browser system, uploading their data centers with the Series X now that Josh, you were talking about. The fact that you have next gen games, and because there's a console shortage, that if you have an Xbox One, you're going to be able to play them, because Microsoft is now becoming this pro consumer company, and their Xbox is finally excelling, because all the news that I keep hearing from them has always been great. The future for us I think it's going to be bright. I think the next 7 years for us, I really hope all these people stay in place. You never know, all these people can change, but you think about it. You think about the 20 years it's been a rocky road. It's been a great road for some times. The glory days of 360, the 2004 of like releasing Halo and Fable and so many other games. And then I think about like even just before the Xbox One launch, that 2012 where we just constantly kept getting consoles. And then I just think about right now where we are at, and we just we're still playing after 20 years, when we're all grown up and we're all having a bunch of lives, and I just think the future for Microsoft and Xbox, it's just so bright. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to this, but I'm just excited about what's happening for us right now at this moment.
Well, there's nothing like I feel like we just got out of beta, right? When the Microsoft CEO comes out and says it's a core part of our business. We look at gaming as part of our heritage. They even said, Satya said, our first piece of software, even before Windows came out, was Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's nice to see them starting to take it very, very seriously. And when you buy a company like Bethesda for $7.5 billion, like I was saying in our last episode, you set a tone this generation. Yeah. And when the CEO comes out and says, no, this is just as important to us as Windows,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we just got
That's
out of
huge.
beta, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Official release. You're totally right. You're totally right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Making it available to so many more people and everything too. Like it's not just going to be Doom that you play on those on every
No.
conceivable device. It's going to start being all the Xbox games, all the Xbox Game Pass, and like
Yeah.
having that
You see
accessible
that
just to
title.
people who, yeah, exactly, having that accessible to people who don't have access to those consoles and everything. Like just spreading the wealth, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of people only have cell phones these days.
I mean,
Yeah.
they even make it easy for you to get a console with the what is it called when they had that
Oh, yeah.
program?
The all access plan? Or-
All access. I have
program.
actually a couple friends of mine
Yep.
on the all access program.
I just got a friend on that one too.
That makes it
US friend.
even more of a killer deal that once that becomes more active when there's more supply, you know what I mean? It's just going to make it so easy to enter the next gen market that it might be the favorite. It might be the favorite at the end of the generation. We'll see.
Well, they said they're even talking to cell phone companies now to start offering the all access programs, and they're going to come out with the streaming stick. They're going to be built into Game Pass is going to be built into smart TVs going
Samsung
forward.
TVs probably because that's Xbox's
Partner.
partner. Yep.
Can you see it on a Sony
partner.
Bravia? Can you just imagine if a Sony Bravia just has that as an app?
Sony Bravia come in with the Xbox controller, in box. I can honestly see Xbox controllers being packed in with smart TVs.
Yep.
Going forward.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yep.
At the very
So, like
least,
you
as
were
like an
saying-
add-in, like promotional add-in or whatever. Just
Yeah.
like, buy this TV now, like holiday season or something, like get a free Xbox controller. Like
They want
play
that
away.
Xbox button
Play
on
away.
the remote, like the Netflix
You get
button.
your
is on
your
remote.
3 months free of Game Pass buying the TV. They're gonna reach.
They
They're
want to
gonna
be one of these guys.
Yep.
right.
Says
Right.
Xbox.
Or right there, just below
Yeah.
that green button.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's that's all I wanted from like gaming. I didn't want it to be part of some sort of book club like that I got into when I was younger. Like I didn't want it to be this thing where I was trashing Sony. I know I do enjoy trashing the competitor, but the thing is I've always wanted it for everybody. I never wanted it just for myself or just like my own group of friends. Gaming should be for everybody. It shouldn't be exclusive to just somebody else. If you don't have the access to it, maybe there's an alternative way, and that's why I think Xbox is perfect for everybody right now. It's the right. It's just they're doing it right. They're finally listening to people. So, yeah.
And it drives
Actually
that
looks great,
growth
like
for
you were
internet.
saying.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's everything for today. I just want to
long
thank.
one.
Yeah, it's a long one. It's a 2-hour one. I'd say, but I gotta thank you boys because we did a live reaction. We're gonna show it eventually. We had a little bit of a hiccup with that thing, but we're gonna eventually reveal.
Growing pains.
Exactly,
Growing
growing
pains,
pains.
Good
but-
growing pains though. Good
Yeah.
growing
Watch
pains.
this episode didn't even record.
Yeah, and then if this episode fucks up, I'm just gonna fucking split. I'm just kidding. It's just gonna be.
It's the memories that count, Andrew.
That's the most important part of
It's the
gaming,
bonds
right?
that we grow.
Yeah, and the rocky road, and the tides, right? It's
the mini
just,
fridges.
and the mini
And the
fridges.
mini fridge.
Four of them, right here.
Yeah,
Just remember that we all have
Put our
families.
email in the
Yeah, we'll put.
description. Yeah.
Yes, we'll definitely do it in our private emails. Maybe we'll even put our addresses. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
all I need is you to dox me, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the time for us. Thank you for watching the Xbox Nord podcast. My name is Andrew Ravindran. With me are my buddies, Jesse Dean, Dan Robertson, Joshua James. Josh, thank you so much for putting all this together. Dan, thanks
you,
for the
Andrew.
setup. Jesse, thank you for always being here. I love today. I loved working on today on a double podcast. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And don't forget
Yeah,
to
oh, yeah,
watch
the stream in the
Jesse's
morning.
stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Jesse's stream,
every-
JD Pro.
Yep.
What's the date?
JD Pro 2015.
JD Pro 2015 at Mondays?
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m.
Yeah. No.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And
What
we're
about
on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts,
podcasts?
and
Pocket Cast?
Pocket Cast. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
if you
always
can't
forget that
watch,
one. Yeah, I always forget that one.
please listen. We
Yeah.
got one guy in America watching, listening to us on Google Play. So I was like, yeah,
Absolutely. Maybe we'll do.
and hopefully more.
Yeah, we'll do definitely some more to come. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you guys for always coming on and doing this with me. I've been enjoying this 4 episodes in, and every single time I feel like I learn a little bit more about you. I learn little
4
things about you guys.
episodes, 4
Yeah.
fridges.
4 fridges, guys.
Fridges.
That's maybe the title. 4 fridges, Xbox. Maybe that's something about it. The 4 fridges, please. We need 4 fridges. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
we
right.
can't go on without tasty drinks.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care.
Take care, guys.
Cheers.
Take care.